Sheriff Park here with Lori Pritchard. Well, just into our newsroom, word that Mitt Romney will make a statement on the state of the 2016 presidential race.
Now, he will speak at the Hinckley Institute of Politics at the University of Utah tomorrow morning, beginning at 9:30. By the way, this isn't the first time Mitt Romney has spoken on the state of the Republican race from the White House. Even within the last few days, he's called on Donald Trump to release his tax records, which so far Trump has refused to do. You can watch KSL AM for the latest in our coverage details.
We're going to bring Doug Wright in with us right now because this really got things stirring in the newsroom when this came out just a short time ago. What is going to happen tomorrow with this?
We don't know. We don't know. I happen to have that. It's better to be lucky than smart. And I happen to have the former director of the Hinckley Institute of Politics on the air with me when this news did break. And we talked with Kirk Jowers during our break at the top of the hour. He said, "Oh, yeah, I knew this. I was just going to mention it." And I went, "Okay." And this was just breaking on national news. And he indicated that he didn't want to take anything away from the governor's thunder, so he wasn't going to speculate as to what was going to actually happen tomorrow. I asked him specifically, "Do you expect this? Do you expect that?" And he said, "You know, like an announcement of running or anything like that." And he said, "No." He said, "That would absolutely shock me," but really didn't tip his hand if he knew as to what the governor intended to actually talk about.
National headlines.
Yeah, and it's interesting too. Anytime Mitt Romney speaks right now on anything regarding the 2016 race, it makes not only national but international headlines. And so we had an interesting conversation with Kirk Jowers about the state of the race right now and just how interesting it is and what some possible scenarios might be as we move toward the convention, and if somebody doesn't hit that magic number of delegates of 1237, which would prevent it from being a quote-unquote brokered or contested convention. We then put in a phone call to Jason Perry, who is the current director of the Hinckley Institute of Politics, and we got some specific information. I don't know how much you've had a chance to share with your viewers, but it will be at 9:30, as you've already mentioned. The doors are going to open at 9 o'clock. It will be at Gardner Hall, which is in the presidential circle, right next, just west of Kingsbury Hall. I asked him what the capacity would be, and he said with the accommodation for press and so on, he believed there would be about 250 seats, and all of the students at the University of Utah obviously are invited. I asked him what the format would be. And he said, very similar to other Hinckley forums that we've had when noted dignitaries, either locally or nationally or internationally, come to a Hinckley forum. He said that he would most likely be introducing Mr. Romney. It would get underway at 9:30. I asked him if the public was welcome, and he said always. The public will be welcome, but again, there is limited seating in Gardner Hall. I asked him if he was absolutely getting slammed on press requests, and he goes, "Oh, yeah, absolutely." Sure. And then I said, "Well, when did you get the rumblings on?" They said, "Oh, maybe day before yesterday."
Okay, day before yesterday. I have to ask you this, because when it came to us, it was Mitt Romney would like to make a statement on the 2016 presidential race. Yeah. Is there time for him to possibly jump in and clinch the Republican nomination? You know, when I addressed that with Kirk Jowers, whether there's time or not, I think it's whether he would take that tack or not. And most people are thinking not. Now, I did say, what about the scenario? Could there be a paving of the way in case it does get to a contested convention? Remember, at first, everybody's theoretically obligated to vote the way their state delegated them to vote or required them to vote, winners take all versus percentages. But after that first initial vote in a convention, it's a free-for-all. You're off the hook. You can now vote any way you want or any way you feel that the wind needs to blow that day. You can change your vote. So could there be positioning for something almost kind of like riding in with the white hat at the end? You know, who knows? Who knows at this point? Everything is just wild speculation. Could it just be rallying the troops? Could it be a plea for them to go with one direction versus another? Could it be an endorsement of a candidate? There are so many delicious things to kind of think about here. But it'll be interesting tomorrow morning, 9:30, right here from the University of Utah. A Hinckley Forum is how it was described to me with Governor Mitt Romney.
Okay, it's gonna be interesting.
Yes, and we of course will carry it live. You will be up there as well, Doug Wright. I appreciate you joining the last few minutes with us to help break this down.
It's never dull, is it?
No, it's not.
No.
Thanks.
All right, thanks.